Hi, I'm Aubrey Martinson, Executive Director of CultureVerse, and I am here with Doug Coombe, legendary photographer in Michigan, specifically an Ann Arbor resident. And CultureVerse is an Ann Arbor organization. We are new to the community. We have a physical location at 309 South Main Street, and we also exist to create virtual experiences to share arts and culture to a wider audience. And what Doug and I want to talk about today is an exhibit that we just put up in our physical gallery called Last Night, A Camera Saved My Life. And it is the photography of Doug Coombe. So let's talk a little bit about the components of the exhibit first, right? We've got the physical gallery, and that is featuring what?
It's featuring Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti musicians from the last 30 years, primarily the last 20 years. They are gigantic prints, and I am very grateful to CultureVerse for indulging me in printing some very large photos. And it's up through the end of Art Fair, July 24th.
Yep, it's up through, so please come into our physical space. And we also know that, we only have so much wall space. And Doug, who I hope will talk a little bit more about his history as a photographer in Ann Arbor, is a prolific photographer. So one reason, we like to work in the virtual world as well is because that space is limitless. So we partner with a software called aganworks, and we can recreate environments. And we did that with the blind pig, where a lot of Doug's photos have happened. So we digitally recreated the blind pig, where Doug can then have this play space to display an endless amount of photography. So talk a little bit about that blind pig experience and what people might see when they go to cultureverse.org, click on your program, and find that virtual gallery. What might they see when they enter that blind pig space?
A lot of my initial interest in partnering with CultureVerse was talking with Dave Sharp about how aganworks is documenting the Stearns collection at U of M, which is this amazing, vast collection of musical instruments from all over the world, from many different time periods that nobody's ever seen, including me, and I've been in Ann Arbor for a long time.
That's really cool.
So the ability to just take a massive collection that's kind of unwieldy in the physical world, but then virtually present it where everybody can interact and see and appreciate it, was very exciting to me, because speaking of unwieldy collections, there is all the photos I've taken of musicians over the last 30 years. So again, I was very appreciative of CultureVerse for allowing me to literally fill their walls with a lot of pictures, but even then I felt bad for all the artists that weren't represented in the physical space. So aganworks allows me to just present not only a lot of photos of many artists and musicians, but also many photos of bands that I've loved, that I've documented a lot over the years. So
yeah, and we're going to be doing some additional programming with some of those bands that Doug has loved in our physical space. We will also be launching a VR experience that's completely different from the virtual gallery that we created with Doug. But can we talk a little bit about who is featured in both the physical and the digital exhibit, a little bit about your history as a photographer, and why people might be curious to look at any of it?
Sure. I guess briefly, just to go over my history, a longtime record store employee here in Ann Arbor. Started out at School Kids, Wazoo, worked at Borders, wound up at Encore. But through working at a record store and my love of music, I just started taking cameras to shows with really no grand scheme of anything, but that in time turned into a career. So this show is a celebration of the community that ended up giving me a career. And then within the space itself, as a record store employee, I love all kinds of music, so I've always tried to document all the different scenes going on. So part of the physical space, there's kind of the generation before me, celebrating them, like Iggy Pop, MC5, Ron Ashton, The Stooges, Scott Morgan. But then in my time, what we document there is kind of the Ann Arbor Ypsilanti hip-hop scene, especially Athletic Mike League, that they have collectively and individually gone on to do so much more since they initially broke up, although they are getting back together July 2nd for Ann Arbor Summer Festival. But also, my exhibit also celebrates the indie rock scene in Ann Arbor and also the techno and electronic music scene in Ghostly Records.
It's so great. We had an event on June 3rd as the opening event, and we will be sharing photos from that event pretty soon. But what was really cool was to see the people who were on the walls actually in the space and connecting, and it was very much a beautiful kind of like homecoming situation. And it was, yeah, lovely energy, and I think it's really a testament to the kindness that you've bestowed on these musicians as you attempt to elevate what they're doing and bring more attention to them, and then just to be surrounded by all of that kind of maybe in return is lovely. And if people recognize your name, Doug, where else may they have seen your work?
Oh my goodness, Metro Times, Concentrate locally, but a number of music magazines, Rolling Stone, Spin, The Wire, Mojo, on and on. So.
Yeah, it's awesome. So we are really lucky to work with you, and we are so happy that you chose to share your work with us. And again, CultureVerse.org is our website. The exhibit is called Last Night, A Camera Saved My Life. It is up in the physical world at 309 South Main Street until July 24th. And please visit our website, CultureVerse.org, to visit the virtual gallery as well, which is housed in the historic music venue, a digital representation of the historic music venue, Flying Pig. Thank you.